This is your dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. Starting from humble beginnings, Nick has been beating the markets for over 2 decades. He shares with you his take on the profitable trades that will have you moving towards financial freedom in no time at all. To see an in-depth review of his track record and much more, go to inthemoneystocks.com. Welcome, and this is your daily dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. I'm Kerry Lutz. Today is 9/11/20, and this is show number 115. Before we get started, Nick, we should just make a mention of the fact that this is the 19th anniversary of the destruction of the World Trade Centers, the attacks on the U.S. ostensibly by Muslim fundamentalist terrorists, but regardless, it still was a major tragedy which affects us to this day.
Yeah, and I'll never forget this day back in 2001. It still sits. Everybody remembers exactly where they were when those planes hit the World Trade Center. But again, it's a day where you want to remember and never forget. I think on a day like this, we normally will look for a flat to slightly positive day. But today in the markets, we have a mixed day. We have the Dow up about 116 points. That's what the people are going to look at when they go home tonight. But the Russell 2000, which represents small cap companies in the U.S., that's down about 0.75%. And the Nasdaq's also down about 0.7%. And that's really where the technology is, and that's been the leadership. So we continue to see money coming out of technology. Today it is going to other places. We have a lot of retail names that are higher. We're also looking at some transports that are higher. And some energy stocks that are higher. So that's good to see. We also have the financial stocks catching a little bit of a bid. If they can get a little bit of momentum, that would be a real big positive for the markets. And then you have the industrial stocks like Caterpillar doing very well. Stocks like Honeywell doing very well today. 3M is doing well. So, again, it's really a mixed bag of tricks out here today. It's a shortened holiday week. Markets were closed on Monday. So we really have a mixed bag of tricks out here.
Not every day is a killer day, but the trend is still your friend.
Yeah, the trend is still your friend, although we are in pullback mode at this stage of the game. And we've been talking about the election window, which is, once we get inside of 60 days to the election, I think you got to be more cautious right now. There are a lot of things still working to the upside, but technology is not one of them. So I would really be a little bit cautious with tech right now. I think we've seen some pretty good distribution, not to say that it can't rebound from here, but just going forward, I think we're looking at a little bit more choppiness for the next few weeks. And I think you got to really be selective. And this is probably the most important part of the year, to be looking at charts and watching those patterns and understanding them and recognizing them.
Hey, so what about energy? We were up over $42 a barrel. Now we're below 40. What's the deal?
Yeah. So crude oil's pulled back a little bit. It's sitting at around 37.50 as we speak. But again, even if, it's had such a good run, it's not unusual to get these kind of pullbacks. I don't really see crude going much below the $33 level. As for energy stocks, they've been on the weaker side. Today, we're seeing a little bit of an uptick in some select energy names. The stocks that are not upticking, they're basically flat. The big part about energy, the space, it's so diverse. You have explorers, you have oil services, you have the big integrateds, you have the refinery names. So there's so many different breakdowns or different little subsectors inside of the energy group. They're all, they've been trading somewhat in tandem with each other. Today, though, we are seeing a little bit of outperformance in the refinery space. So you have Phillips 66, you have Marathon Petroleum, Valero. They're all higher. And decently higher, 1.5%, 2% gainers. Marathon and Phillips are up about 3%. So, if those areas can get going, that could firm up the space. But I'm always trying to isolate the strength within an individual larger sector. So something like energy, I'm always trying to break it up into those little subgroups, like the refiners and the oil services names. But today it looks like stand out in the refiners. But overall, crude has been very, very strong. Recently, it's pulled back with the markets, and we'll see how it shapes out. But I don't see it going below $33 a barrel.
All right. Hey, and in honor of today, we'll make it a bit of a shorter show. Just quickly, let's review precious metals.
Yeah, so today we have gold down a little bit, down about 13, well, let's call it $14 now, trading at around 950 in gold futures. And then we have silver today trading down about 33 cents. That's about a 1.2% decline. But overall, we just keep getting this backing and filling in gold and silver, and that's real good price action if you ask me. So again, building a potential pattern for breakout down the road. It's not there yet, still needs to do more of it, but looking pretty good on the charts.
Hey, we're getting closer to the fourth quarter, obviously. And that historically, well, when you go to late November, early December, that's when we've been seeing recently, the past 3-4 years, correct me if I'm wrong, we're seeing breakouts in the precious metals sector.
That has been the case. So we want to keep an eye on it, but that has been the case as of late. So we'll see what we get. One thing I want to point out before I forget, next Friday, not this Friday, but next Friday, which is the 18th of September, will be quadruple witching options expiration, end of quarter expiration for the month of September. So we got to be aware. You're going to have 4 different asset classes expiring next week. So there'll be a lot of games and a lot of individual names next week, a lot of choppiness. Everybody should be prepared for that.
All right. So lots of games and lots of choppiness. I think we'll leave it at that. All of you out there, make sure you go over to Nick's site, inthemoneystocks.com, and take a look at his trading record. Also, the Twitter feeds at ITMS, at Nick Santiago 01, at Kerry Lutz. Send your questions, your comments to KL@KerryLutz.com. We're saving up a bunch. We'll hit them next week. And Nick, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you on Monday.
Thank you.
And so concludes another episode of Daily Market Wisdom with Master Trader Nick Santiago. Be sure to go to his website, inthemoneystocks.com. Don't forget the Twitter feeds at ITMS and at Nick Santiago 01.